So now it's time for me to be silly. Today I was thinking about, the fact that I've seen some, obviously not all, but some videos where people get to ask questions of the different actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Every single video I've seen, it's always been children, and it's always been boys. Now, that's not saying that there isn't videos out there where a girl gets to ask a question, because I have seen GIF images on Tumblr of a little girl talking to Sebastian Stan. But I'm talking about just them aiming a camera at a child and saying, "Do you have any questions?" And then you get to see the actors on a different set watching the video of the child and answering the questions. And here's the thing. Girls like superheroes too, and so do adults. Hello? I realize that the kids are cuter, but I can't afford to go to Comic-Con, and my question might actually be considered too long to ask. It would be a lot easier to ask it on a video. I specifically want to ask a question of Anthony Mackie. And if I had the chance to do it, this is what I'd say. Mr. Mackie, first of all, loved you in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. May I call you Anthony? All right, Mr. Mackie it is then. Mr. Mackie, your character is amazing. But were you aware that in the comic books, Sam Wilson actually can talk to the birds? He's actually referred to as the King of the Birds. Red Wing is an actual falcon, not a drone. Does it bother you that they took away Sam Wilson's superpower? It seems such a practical superpower, really, when you think about it, because Sam can get information from the birds. He has located runaway children by talking to the birds. And who would suspect a sparrow of being an international spy? That would be my question for Anthony Mackie. It does bother me a lot that Sam Wilson in the movies can't talk to the birds, because it actually would be super useful. He could send a tiny little bird in to spy on people and get a whole bunch of information. So it does bother me. The other thing that bothers me about the movies is that in the comic books, Hawkeye is deaf. I really should say hearing impaired, but he has hearing aids, and if he doesn't have them in, he has to rely on sign language and lip reading. So he can hear if he has his hearing aids in, but otherwise he can't hear at all. So it does bother me that Jeremy Renner isn't wearing hearing aids, unless they can explain it as that he's wearing those really, really, really teeny tiny ones all the time that you basically cannot see, because maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. has got some advanced tech where his hearing aids are really hidden and don't dislodge very easily. But it does bother me because, representation matters. It truthfully does. There should be all sorts of different types of people represented in comic books and in media in general. We're finally getting somewhere, so it does bother me that they aren't showing Hawkeye as deaf. And it bothers me that they are not showing Sam Wilson's ability to talk to the birds, because that's actually really kind of important, and it's a really useful power. People might not think it's useful, but just think about all the spying opportunities that if Sam Wilson could talk to the birds, he could get so much information that nobody else can. So yeah, that would be my question for Anthony Mackie if I got the chance to ask him one of those silly little videos, is does it bother you that Sam Wilson does not have his abilities to talk to the birds in the movies like he can in the comic books?